I sat alone in the dimly lit conference room, staring at the signed settlement papers on the table. My hands were steady now, but my heart still felt bruised. 9 months after burying my husband Ethan, I had just forced my own sister to give back everything she had stolen from us. $897,890 in cash, 2 rental properties, and what remained of my trust. The weight that had crushed my chest for months was finally lifting, but the betrayal still burned like an open wound. My name is Taylor, and this is how I discovered that the person I loved and protected the most had been quietly destroying my life for years. It started on a quiet Sunday morning, 9 months after Ethan's sudden heart attack. I was sitting in church, trying to focus on the sermon about walking through the valley of sorrow, when my phone vibrated violently in my purse. It was Miguel, the contractor I had hired just 2 days earlier to investigate a strange gas smell coming from the garage behind Ethan's old home office. "Taylor, you need to come home right now," he said, voice urgent. "I found something hidden behind the wall. You have to see this, and come alone." My stomach dropped. I slipped out of the pew and drove the 9-minute journey home in what felt like an eternity. My hands shook on the steering wheel as memories of Ethan flooded me. His warm laugh, the way he always organized everything with his beloved label maker, the way he protected me even when I didn't know I needed protecting. When I arrived, Miguel led me into the garage. The large metal tool chest had been dragged away, leaving fresh marks on the concrete floor. A neat rectangular section of drywall had been carefully cut out, revealing a hidden recessed cabinet. Inside sat a fireproof lockbox. On top was a white label printed in Ethan's familiar label maker font. "Emergency for Taylor only. Do not open unless I'm gone." My knees nearly gave out. With trembling fingers, I opened the box. Inside were thick stacks of cash, a heavy manila envelope stuffed with documents, a USB drive labeled Evidence, password protected, and a handwritten letter. I unfolded the letter slowly. The first line stole the air from my lungs. "Taylor, if you're reading this, I'm gone, and I didn't get to finish what I started. Your sister Lily has been stealing from our company for the past 4 years." The world tilted. Lily, my sweet younger sister, the girl I had protected since childhood, the one I brought into our property management company as a consultant, the one I trusted completely. Ethan's neat handwriting continued, laying out everything. Lily had created a fake consulting firm called Rose Consulting LLC and had been invoicing our company every month for services that never existed. She had forged my signatures on vendor contracts and even created fake emails from my account to cover her tracks. Ethan had discovered it in 2020 and confronted her privately, giving her 6 months to repay the money quietly to protect me and the business. She never paid back a single dollar. Instead, she forged more documents and dug herself deeper. He had built the hidden cabinet himself with a clever safety mechanism. If anyone tried to force it open without the proper sequence, it would slightly shift the gas line, creating a slow leak that would eventually trigger an alert. That was the gas smell I had noticed weeks earlier. The USB password was something only Ethan and I would ever know. Ava 2015, the name and year we lost our baby daughter. I sat on the cold garage floor for what felt like hours, surrounded by proof of my sister's betrayal. I couldn't even cry. The shock ran too deep. I remembered us as little girls sharing a bedroom, whispering secrets under the covers, promising we'd always have each other's backs. I remembered paying for Lily's college when our parents couldn't, helping her move into her first apartment, and proudly bringing her into the family business after Ethan and I built it from the ground up. How long had she been planning this? How many times had she smiled at me while stabbing me in the back? I carried the lockbox into the kitchen and spread everything across the table. I tried the USB drive with every password I could think of, our wedding date, birthdays, anniversaries, but nothing worked until midnight when I finally entered Ava 2015. The files opened. There it all was. Bank statements, fake invoices, forged signatures, everything. I called my best friend Maya immediately. She arrived within 30 minutes, still in her pajamas. We sat together until sunrise, going through every document. The total stolen came to $412,890 over 4 years. Maya, who worked at the county recorder's office, promised to run a search on Rose Consulting LLC the next morning. That same night, I received a text from my mother, Helen. "Can't sleep. Thinking about you. Have you gone through Ethan's things yet? Call me when you can." The timing felt too perfect, too suspicious. The next morning, Mom called again, casually asking if I had cleaned out Ethan's office. "It might help bring closure," she said. Then she added, almost too quickly, "If you find anything unusual with the finances, talk to Lily first. She understands that side better than anyone." My blood ran cold. Lily had already gotten to her. Later that day, Lily texted me out of the blue. "Want to grab coffee? I miss you." I agreed to meet her on Thursday at 2 p.m. I wanted to see her face. At the cafe, Lily looked polished as always, but I noticed the tightness around her eyes. She asked how I was holding up, suggested I sell the house and downsize, and acted like the perfect concerned sister. When I casually mentioned going through Ethan's business records and the large consulting fees, her face paled. She tried to explain them away. Those were legitimate services, but her story had holes big enough to drive a truck through. When I mentioned the gas leak and the drag marks in the garage, her eyes flickered with panic. She knew. She had tried to break into the cabinet. After the meeting, I received an anonymous text. "Stop digging through company records. You won't like what you find." I forwarded it to Maya and immediately called Ethan's lawyer, Mr. Thompson. In his office, Mr. Thompson reviewed everything carefully. "This is strong," he said, "but the USB files will make it ironclad." He also discovered that Lily had used the stolen money to purchase 2 rental properties through an LLC called RL Holdings. We can include those in the settlement demand. The settlement meeting, weeks later, was tense and brutal. Lily arrived with her lawyer, Mr. Harris. Her husband, Trevor, came as a surprise witness. The moment he walked in, Lily's face went ghostly white. Trevor revealed that Lily had forged his signature on a $95,000 mortgage application to cover her gambling debts. Mr. Thompson presented the evidence methodically: fake invoices, forged signatures, bank transfers, and even a video statement Ethan had recorded before his death. Lily denied everything at first, then broke down as the mountain of proof became undeniable. After hours of negotiation, her lawyer proposed a settlement. Lily would pay $897,890 in full restitution, including the stolen funds, interest, and a buyout of her partnership share. She would also transfer both rental properties to me. In exchange, I would not file criminal charges. I had the power to send her to prison for 8 to 12 years. Part of me wanted to. She had tried to destroy everything Ethan and I built. But I thought of Ethan carrying this burden alone for years to protect me. In the end, I gave her one chance. "If you miss even a single payment," I said, looking her directly in the eyes, "I will file every charge, and I will make sure you lose everything." Lily signed the papers with shaking hands, tears streaming down her face. I leaned forward. "You didn't just steal money, Lily. You tried to destroy me while I was grieving my husband. I don't forgive you. I want you out of my life." As I walked out of the conference room, my phone buzzed. A text from Mr. Thompson. First payment received, $300,000 at 4:47 p.m. She barely made it. The next 75 days were agonizing. I waited anxiously for each scheduled payment. Every time money cleared and another property document transferred, I felt another small piece of justice. On the 75th day, Mr. Thompson called. It's done. Final payment cleared. Both properties are now in your name. A week later, my mother came for dinner. She looked tired. Lily is selling her house and moving to California, she said quietly. She started attending Gamblers Anonymous meetings. I told her I can't have a relationship with her until she takes real accountability. I nodded. The family I once knew had fractured beyond repair. I still miss Ethan every single day. Sometimes I wonder if the constant stress of dealing with Lily's betrayal contributed to his heart attack. But I've also discovered a strength inside myself I never knew existed. I've decided to turn this pain into purpose. I'm starting the Ethan and Ava Foundation, a nonprofit that will help families who have been victims of financial fraud and gambling addiction. Looking back, I've learned that trust is not something you blindly give, even to family. It must be earned every single day. I wish Ethan hadn't carried that terrible secret alone. I wish I had been more vigilant, but I refuse to let this destroy me. Instead, I will make sure what happened to us helps protect others. Because betrayal may break your heart, but it doesn't have to define your future.